But if one considers correctly, the above reason seems to lead not only to the fact that the union of man and woman in human nature, which we call marriage, is long-lasting, but also that it lasts throughout life. For possessions are ordered to the preservation of natural life. And since natural life, which cannot be preserved in the Father perpetually, is preserved in the Son, as it were, by a certain succession, according to the likeness of the species, it is fitting according to nature that the Son also succeeds in the things that belong to the Father. It is therefore natural that the Father's concern for his Son should remain until the end of his life. If therefore the concern of the Father for the Son causes even in birds the cohabitation of male and female, the natural order requires that, until the end of life in the human species, father and mother cohabit together. It also seems inconsistent with equity if the aforementioned company is dissolved. For the woman needs the sea not only for the sake of generation, as in other animals, but also for the sake of government, because the male is both more perfect in reason and stronger in virtue. But the woman is assumed to the company of the man because of the necessity of procreation. Therefore, when a woman's fecundity and beauty cease, she is prevented from being taken by another. If, therefore, a man, having taken a woman in the time of her youth, when both beauty and fertility are present to her, is able to put her away after she is advanced in age, he will cause harm to the woman, contrary to natural equity. Again, it clearly appears that it is inappropriate if a woman can divorce a man, since a woman is naturally subject to a man as a governor, but it is not in the power of him who is subject to another to depart from his rule. It would therefore be contrary to the natural order if a woman could leave her husband. If therefore a man could leave a woman, it would not be an equal partnership between man and woman, but a kind of servitude on the part of the woman. In addition, humans have a certain natural concern for the security of their children. For this reason it is necessary, because the son needs the long-term guidance of his father. Whatever, then, hinders the certainty of the offspring is contrary to the natural instinct of the human species. But if a man could divorce a woman, or a woman a man, and be joined to another, the certainty of the offspring would be hindered, while the woman, having been known by the first, would afterwards be known by the second. It is therefore against the natural instinct of the human species that a woman should be separated from a man. Thus, therefore, the union of man and woman must be not only long-lasting, but also individual in the human species. Further, the greater the friendship, the stronger and more lasting it is. But between husband and wife, there seems to be the greatest friendship, for they are united not only in the act of carnal copulation, which also makes a kind of sweet companionship between beasts, but also for the companionship of the whole domestic conversation. Hence, as a sign of this, a man for his wife also divorces his father and mother, as it is said in Genesis 2:24. It is fitting, therefore, that marriage should be absolutely indissoluble. Furthermore, it must be considered that among natural acts, only generation is directed to the common good, for eating and the emission of other superfluities belong to the individual, but generation is for the preservation of the species. Hence, when the law is instituted for the common good, those things which pertain to generation must be ordered before other laws, both divine and human. Now the laws laid down must proceed from natural instinct if they are human, just as even in the demonstrative sciences every human invention takes its beginning from naturally known principles. But if they are divine, they not only explain the instinct of nature, but also supply the deficiency of natural instinct, just as those things which are divinely revealed surpass the capacity of natural reason. Since then, there is a natural instinct in the human species for the union of man and woman to be individual, and that it should be one of one. It was necessary that this should be ordered by human law. But the divine law assigns a supernatural reason from the meaning of the inseparable union of Christ and the Church, which is one of one. In this way, then, the disorders surrounding the act of generation are not only contrary to natural instinct, but also transgress divine and human laws. Wherefore, in regard to this one, sins more from indisposition than in regard to the taking of food, or anything else of the kind. But because it is necessary for that which is best in man, that all other things should be ordered, the union of man and woman is not only so ordered by the laws as it pertains to the generation of offspring, as is the case with other animals, but also according to what is appropriate to good manners, which reason he disposes rightly either as to man in himself, or as man as a part of the domestic family, or of civil society, to which good manners belongs the individual union of man and woman. For in this way the love of one to another will be more faithful, as long as they know that they are inseparably united. Both will also be more anxious about domestic matters, while they think that they will always remain in possession of the same things. From this are also deduced the origins of the discords which ought to occur if a man were to divorce his wife, between him and his wife's relatives, and the love between kindred becomes stronger. The opportunities for adultery are also removed, which would be given if the husband could divorce his wife, or vice versa, for this would give an easier way of soliciting other people's marriages. Hence it is said that Matthew 5:32 and 19, 6 and 1 Corinthians 7:10. But I say to you, a wife must not divorce her husband. By this the custom of those who divorce their wives is excluded. However, in the old law it was permitted to the Jews because of their hardness, namely, because they were prone to killing their wives. Therefore the lesser evil was permitted to exclude the greater evil.